Now that the planets are created, we can start to animate them around the sun. So in order to do this, we can actually animate everything here directly in the scene editor. And first, I'm going to reorganize the hierarchy of nodes here. So we have a solar system, which is just an empty node right in the at the origin of the scene. We are going to put the sun inside of the solar system. And same again, it's right in the middle. Then here we have our first planet, so there is Mercury. Then we will have Venus. And here we have the Earth. And finally Saturn. So Saturn already has two child nodes for the rings. And these will be our 4 planets. So what we can do is to select them all and put them inside of our solar system. So now the solar system can be moved, and everything inside, all the child nodes will move at the same time. So it might be a good idea to just make sure that it loads just 1 meter in front of the user when the phone starts. Otherwise, the phone would be inside of the sun. So let's just now have a look at this solar system and how we can rotate those planets around the sun. So in order to do this, we will have to have an SCN action. So if you select any of your nodes in here, so let's, for example, take Mercury, you can drag this up and find here the actions. Okay, so right now we can see there are no actions, and here if I drag and look for an action, you will find all sorts of actions here that you can use, where we are going to use the rotate action, and I'm going to simply drag and drop here inside of the Mercury node. Then here, as you can see, we have this little arrow here. So if I click on this arrow, I can loop this action to infinity. So this means it's just going to obviously rotate forever. And finally, we can go and inspect here our action. So what we want to do is to rotate around the y-axis of this node, though. So the problem we will have is that if we rotate right now and hit play here, this is rotating, but we can't see anything because it's just rotating around itself. What we want is for a node that would have an origin of here to rotate around the sun, basically. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another empty node, and I'm going to call this Mercury node, and I'm going to put Mercury inside. So Mercury node is exactly at the location 0, 0, and 0, which means that now if I select this edge of the arc and rotate, you can see that now my planet is going to rotate around the sun. So I can just leave it here if I want. It doesn't really matter because it's just going to rotate. But there is no action here. We've got the action on Mercury directly, so we can delete that one and add the action in this one directly. So if I look for a rotate, take the first one, rotate action. Here we set it to infinity. Make sure you've got it selected. Go to the attributes inspector, and here in the Y, let's have, so this is how many degrees it's going to do per second. So we can change the duration here as well if we want to. So I'm going to do, yeah, about 20 and run to see how that goes. Okay, so not too fast. If I want to maybe put this to 30 and run again. Okay, that's a bit quicker. Good. Okay, so you can go ahead and try to repeat this for our 3 other planets here. And I'm going to do it right now for you as well. So first of all, we need to create 3 empty nodes. So I'm going to put 1, Control C and V twice. So this one is going to be Venus node. Mars node. We don't have Mars actually, so Earth node. This one. So Earth inside of Earth node and Saturn node. And we have Saturn inside of the Saturn node. So if I put it here and then Saturn inside here. Okay. So these are all our planets. Now we can select them all at once actually. So let me just select those 3. And here you can add actions. So if I actually just look for rotate, and I can drag and drop, so one action here, infinite, one action there, and the third action in here. So infinite. So this Saturn is going to be 12. What should we do for that one? 14. A little bit more, 18. And Venus is going to be a bit slower. Okay, let's run and see. Okay, not bad. So there we go. Let's just run this now on the phone to see what it looks like. Okay, so there we go. We have the sun that's about 1 meter in front of us. My, yeah, the autofocus is still struggling quite a bit. Anyway, so this is working. We can see the planet. So now we need to add some lights probably. And then we will also add a bit of particle systems to the sun and for the stars as well.